You can hate it or love it, but Caitlin Clark has single-handedly helped you young ladies bring proposals to the table. She has single-handedly lifted the boats. She has single-handedly garnered y'all charter flights, for God's sake, within 2 weeks of her being drafted. And just to see the way the WNBA players, WNBA owners, even certain owners coming out, we all remember that, speaking out about Caitlin Clark in a negative light. Different people like the commissioner, Kathy Engelberg, pretty much telling Caitlin Clark that if it wasn't for the league, she wouldn't have her platform, not knowing that Caitlin came in the game with everything she needed to be successful. She actually did y'all a favor, but let's finish listening.
Put down whatever you're holding right now. Forget about everything else happening around you. Mute that phone. Shut that door tight because we're diving into something way bigger than sports. This is a seismic shift that just rocked the WNBA universe like nothing we've ever witnessed before. Think the NBC deal with Caitlin Clark was some sweet fairy tale ending for women's basketball. Think again. The brutal truth happening right now behind those corporate walls is pure mayhem.
As Angel Reese.
.com, and it looked like in the 3 million range or whatever, the network, but I don't know if that was actually broken up or the average overall. Point being, the first 2 games of its Sunday night basketball franchise and the doubleheader delivered record-setting viewership. The first game between the Lakers and the Knicks averaged 4.5 million viewers across NBC and Telemundo, making it the most watched Sunday night regular season game since 2002, excluding Christmas Day. So they haven't had many games in that slot, as you see, hasn't had a regularly scheduled thing, so that's sort of deceiving.
And then we have to talk about
We're getting bombshell intel from sources deep inside the league structure. Those player group chats, they're completely losing it. This announcement about Caitlin Clark joining NBC Universal isn't just some contributor role. She's becoming the centerpiece of their entire sports empire. And guess what? It's not just ruffling some feathers. The whole power structure is going up in flames. Sure, the public Twitter responses look all sunshine and rainbows with their congratulations and happy for the game messages. But the real story brewing in private, it's a venomous mix of pure fury, jealousy, and backstabbing that's ready to rip this league into pieces before next season even tips off. These WNBA players are absolutely losing their minds because they just figured out something devastating. That rookie they spent last year trying to intimidate and push around, she just became more powerful than their entire sport combined, and there's absolutely zero they can do to change it. If you want to grasp why these locker rooms are boiling over, we need to examine who's getting hit hardest by this bombshell. Angel Reese and Aja Wilson are at the center of this storm, and this news is crushing them in very different but equally brutal ways. Let's break down the Angel Reese situation first, because this gets personal real fast. The media spent 2 years trying to sell us this Magic Johnson versus Larry Bird storyline. They painted Caitlin and Angel as these equal forces, two sides of the same coin driving women's basketball to new heights. Well, this NBC deal just took that narrative and threw it in a blender. The rivalry. Commercially speaking, it's dead. Angel Reese has been crushing it with her brand building, the podcast, the endorsement deals, the social media empire. But Caitlin Clark just said, forget the podcast game. I'm buying the entire network. There's a universe of difference between hosting a show and owning the platform. Inside sources are telling us that Angel's team is in complete panic mode. They've been positioning her as the cultural icon of the league, the fashion trendsetter, the lifestyle guru. Now Caitlin's gonna be sitting next to Mike Tirico covering Olympic Games, NFL matchups. She's entering a level of mainstream recognition that Angel, despite all her success, hasn't even touched yet. The frustration in Angel's camp has to be eating them alive, because they're watching the American corporate machine make its choice clear as day. No matter how many double-doubles Angel grabs, no matter how many viral moments she creates, the business world has picked its crown jewel. Picture this tension when next season starts. Angel Reese isn't stepping onto that court to face just another point guard anymore. She's going up against someone who's basically a media empire unto herself. The dynamic just shifted from competitor versus competitor to worker versus boss. That's gotta sting for someone with Angel's competitive fire. Now let's talk about the AJ Wilson explosion, because this is where the fury turns into something deeper. A feeling of complete systematic disrespect that cuts to the bone. AJ Wilson is hands down the most dominant basketball player walking this planet right now. She's got the MVP trophy, the championship ring. She's been carrying this entire league on her shoulders for years, doing everything the right way, being the perfect leader and spokesperson. Then she picks up her phone and sees that someone who hasn't even completed 2 full seasons, someone without a championship ring, just inked a multi-year, multi-million-dollar contract to become the face of NBC Sports. For Aja Wilson, this has to feel like getting slapped across the face in front of the entire world. We already witnessed her frustration last season with those delayed shoe deal negotiations, feeling like she wasn't getting the marketing support her dominance deserved. This NBC announcement just confirmed her worst nightmare. The marketplace values Caitlin Clark's future potential more than Aja Wilson's proven championship excellence. Whispers are spreading from veteran circles throughout the league. They're all asking the same questions. Why isn't Aja covering the Olympics? Why isn't Aja breaking down NBA games on primetime television? The feeling among these established players is that they're being erased from their own story. The women who laid the foundation for Caitlin to build on are becoming background extras in the Caitlin Clark production. Aja Wilson will probably handle this professionally in public interviews, but privately this has to be burning her up inside. Knowing you're the undisputed queen of the basketball court, but watching the rookie become the queen of the business side. When the Fever play the Aces next season, it won't be just another regular season game. It'll be a statement game where Aja Wilson reminds the world and those NBC executives exactly who really runs this league. But this player revolt goes way beyond Angel and Aja. It's spreading through every roster from coast to coast. What really terrifies them is the Trojan horse element. By partnering with NBC, Caitlin Clark essentially became the media establishment. She's now colleagues with the people who vote on awards, the people who control public narratives. This scares the living daylights out of every other player. Picture this nightmare scenario. Angel Reese has a rough shooting night, or Aja Wilson misses a crucial game winner. The very next Sunday, Caitlin Clark could be sitting on national television in front of 20 million viewers, analyzing their failures. She controls the microphone now. She controls the storyline. This hands her a type of power that no active athlete has ever possessed during their playing career. The rest of the league knows they've lost all control of their own narratives. If someone fouls Caitlin too aggressively next season, she doesn't need to complain to referees or post mysterious social media messages. She can simply mention it during basketball night in America, and the entire country will turn against that player instantly. The power structure just flipped from peer versus peer to talent versus the institution. These players feel like they're walking through a minefield now, because Caitlin can destroy someone's reputation with a single comment during a broadcast. Then there's the financial resentment factor, which is absolutely massive. Right now, we're in the middle of an intense labor negotiation battle. WNBA players are opting out of the collective bargaining agreement. They're fighting tooth and nail for better salaries, improved travel conditions, maternity benefits, retirement plans. They're destroying their bodies playing overseas in Turkey, China, European leagues during the off-season just to pay their bills, missing holidays with their families, chasing paychecks on different continents. Right in the middle of this financial struggle, Caitlin Clark signs a contract that reportedly pays her more in 12 months than most veteran superstars have earned in their entire careers combined, and she gets to stay comfortable in America, sitting in a climate-controlled studio just talking about sport. The word floating around those private text chains is disrespect, but it's also pure jealousy. They're asking, why does everything come so easily for her? They feel like she's getting handed the keys to a kingdom they built brick by brick over 20 years with blood, sweat, and sacrifice. It's creating a class system inside the league. You have Caitlin in the wealthy tier, and everybody else fighting for scraps. How do you maintain union solidarity for a potential strike when one union member is making NBC money and doesn't need WNBA salary to survive? It completely weakens the players' negotiating power because Caitlin is protected from the financial pressure of a lockout. There's also this massive conflict of interest debate exploding in player circles. The veterans are reportedly furious that the Fever organization and league leadership are allowing this arrangement. They're demanding answers to serious questions. Is she a part-time player now? Will she skip team practices to interview Stephen Curry? Is she going to miss required media sessions with the Fever because she has NBC production meetings? They feel like it makes a complete mockery of the professional standards everyone else has to follow. They want to know if Caitlyn is truly committed to winning a WNBA championship, or if the WNBA is just her side project now. This narrative is going to fuel every hard foul, every trash-talking exchange next season. Every time Caitlyn misses a shot or turns the ball over, opposing benches will be screaming, "Go back to your studio, go cover the NFL instead." The target on her back just multiplied by 10, painted in bright NBC logo colors. And let's circle back to the Angel Reese cultural dynamics, because this is where the WNBA's deeper tensions surface. Angel represents a specific demographic and playing style that's unapologetic and authentic. Caitlyn represents a different demographic entirely. This NBC deal reinforces feelings among certain players that corporate America feels safer with Caitlyn, that they're promoting her because she fits a particular image they prefer. This reignites all those uncomfortable discussions about race, privilege, and marketability that dominated last year's headlines. Players like Angel Reese and A'ja Wilson, who have always been completely authentic to themselves, feel like there's an invisible barrier limiting their opportunities that somehow doesn't apply to Caitlyn. They're watching her receive the Tom Brady media treatment before earning Tom Brady-level championships. This creates resentment that goes deeper than basketball competition. It becomes about validation, about who gets to be the hero of women's basketball story. The established player leadership, union representatives, icons like Breanna Stewart and Nneka Ogwumike are scrambling to figure out their response strategy. They understand that publicly criticizing Caitlyn would be career suicide. The fan base loves her, sponsors adore her, television ratings depend on her presence. If veteran players come out attacking this deal, they'll look bitter, petty, and ungrateful for the attention she brings the sport. So they're forced to smile through clenched teeth, forced to like those Instagram announcements, which only makes their private anger burn hotter. They're trapped in a situation of their own making. Caitlyn Clark just checkmated the entire league roster. She proved she's the only player in WNBA history who doesn't need the league for financial survival. If the WNBA disappeared tomorrow, Caitlyn Clark would still be wealthy, famous, and broadcasting every Sunday night. Can Angel Reese make that claim? Can A'ja Wilson? Maybe to some extent, but definitely not on Caitlyn's level. That gap in independence is what's causing this explosion. So here's the real question. How does this impact team chemistry when the season begins? Can you really build cohesion when one player is flying private jets to cover Olympic Games while teammates are taking commercial flights to away games? Can you build a sustainable league when the face of that league also controls the media narrative? This divide is absolutely real. WNBA players are exploding because they're watching the entire power hierarchy collapse in real time. Caitlyn Clark isn't just the face of women's basketball anymore. She's becoming the face of American sports, period, and everyone else in the WNBA is just existing in her universe. We're about to witness a season defined not by basketball excellence, but by rebellion against the new media queen. A'ja Wilson is going to play with vengeance we've never witnessed before. Angel Reese is going to embrace her villain role completely, and Caitlyn, she's going to smile, wave at the cameras, then discuss it all on national television afterward. I want to hear your honest reaction to how A'ja and Angel are handling this situation. Does A'ja Wilson have legitimate reasons to feel disrespected considering her achievements? Is the Angel Reese rivalry with Caitlyn completely finished now that Caitlyn has transcended into the media stratosphere? Or are they simply bitter that they didn't possess the star power to negotiate a deal like this for themselves? Share your thoughts in the comments, because this war between Caitlyn Clark and the WNBA establishment just escalated to a completely new, dangerous level. It's going to get ugly, personal, and absolutely impossible to ignore. Make sure to like and subscribe, because we'll be following every subplot of this drama as it develops. The WNBA landscape will never look the same again.